Greetings, Zoidlands, and greetings, lambs. Didn't have time to groom today because I looked up an astrological chart. Ooh, well, I got to do some grooming right now. Oh my goodness. Hey, Hal. You just saw me grooming. Don't tell anybody. Darn. This is about the use of TV series in the 50s and 60s to program baby boomers so that they would be irresponsible wanderers without careers or families. It was inspired by the theme song of a TV series called Johnny Yuma, called The Rebel. That might be too loud. All right, let's get to the point. In the beginning, the Vatican created and ruled Hollywood. A covering story was created by putting 5 Jewish moguls in the forefront of the filmmaking business. Not too long ago, well, I guess if you're 20, it seems like a long time ago, a book was written, I think, An Empire of Their Own, and promoting this cover story that Hollywood was created by the Jewish moguls and is a Jewish thing. But as I'll give evidence in this videograph, it's a Vatican thing using Jewish talent as the face of it, while the Vatican, the armies of the Vatican were ruling it in the background. Giannini was a banker. I think his bank is now the biggest in the world, or at some point was. He financed the moguls through the Bank of Italy, which is now the Bank of America, I think, and they bought some other banks. They, gobbled up some other banks. One of the moguls declared publicly, without Giannini's bank, there would be no Hollywood. JFK's dad, Joe, the bootlegger, was ruler of Hollywood initially. He visited the Pope once each month. None of the moguls could do anything without his approval. I don't know what the source is on that. I'm sorry, but I trust it. Italian mafias, because it fits in with other things, with the total picture. Italian mafias have been armies of the Vatican. Each mafia, for example, the Prohibition was a way of rewarding the mafias for something they had done prior to that. I forgot what it was. Because during Prohibition, the mafias made more money than the legitimate, there weren't any legitimate sales. So it was all mafia type people like Joe Kennedy. But he's not an Italian mafia, obviously. Italian mafias have been armies of the Vatican. Each mafia is under the direction of a particular papal criminal family. The Visconti of Milan specifically have run the filmmaking business earthwide. I can't remember this darn guy's name. I can. Oh God, maybe I'll put it in the notes. Darn. He was a big YouTube guy on YouTube about in the early part of this millennium, and he and a guy named Freeman, who was probably a Prince of Denmark secretly, Both were the two that gave the meanings of the corporate logos, the occult meanings of the corporate logos. Maybe his name will pop into my mind. He said that his uncle was in the mafia, and the mafia in Los Angeles have special license plates whereby the police would not give tickets to the drivers of those cars that had those plates. I was picked up hitchhiking in Palm Beach by the chauffeur of the famous comedienne Martha Ray. She was a big celebrity in the early 50s. When I was picked up, it was the late 60s or early 70s. He took me to his home and made a sandwich for me. He told to me, he was waiting for me to make homosexual overtures, but I didn't, and he didn't either. So I kind of like him. He was a nice guy, since he didn't try anything. If he had, I wouldn't have liked him. He took me to his home and told to me that most folks in Hollywood were linked to the mafia. Now, there's all this rumors about Frank Sinatra, which are true. He was linked to the mafia, and he was very big in Hollywood and in Palm Springs. The grandson of mafia overlord Lucky Luciano was named Tony Gambino, and he was nicknamed Tommy Gambino. Lucky was from Milan. Milan is where the Visconti family and their mafia, through their mafia, ruled the entertainment business all over the earth. In a public interview, Tommy declared that Lucky, his grandfather, received 10% of the income of about 50 of the biggest stars, including Eastwood and Jimmy Stewart. So whatever Eastwood made, Lucky Luciano got 10% of it. This is done through coercion against the moguls. Tommy said that it was his grandfather Lucky who made the horse's head to be put into the bed of a mogul as he slept, to frighten him into changing his mind and hiring Frank Sinatra to appear in moving pictures. And there's Sinatra's connection with the mafia. Frank Sinatra was very generous, though. He gave $36 million to the Pope. There's your connection between mafia and Pope again. But he used to give anonymously to, this was revealed posthumously. While he was alive, he would give anonymously to people that were going through hardship but didn't have as much money as, didn't, like people that were servant class people, waiters or people like that. I don't remember the details. There's a video about it, and I don't remember what it is. So, but he was very generous. However, insofar as Sammy Davis, one of his best buddies, was involved in human sacrifice, Frank likely was also. So there's two sides of his character. Although one of them is inferred, I don't have any specific evidence of him doing human sacrifice, but Sammy Davis Junior's daughter said that she witnessed him doing, it was either 18 or 20 human sacrifices after he publicly stated that he left the Church of Satan. He kept on doing human sacrifices, according to Sammy Davis's daughter, and Sammy Davis was best pals with Frank. So now in the Freemasonry has been dominant in the messages given through entertainment in the entertainment period. In the 50s, the message was timed at the fulfillment of a near monopoly by Freemasonry of the American legal system. The message was, don't take the law into your own hands. In other words, let the Freemason infiltrators in the legal system handle legal matters. That was the message. Typically, the role models shown to the young baby boomers who were born under Pluto and Leo, Leo the sign of drama and sort of celebrity identification, were the role models were solitary wanderers without families. One TV series had a theme song that epitomized a role model that was deliberately crafted to sabotage the family unit and the future careers of young Americans. This worked. One TV series in the 50s was The Rebel.
That's the only way.
Now, for one thing, if you're a rebel, that means you're going against the established order. So, there's a time and a place for being a rebel, but during times of peace and economic prosperity is not one of those times. Words of the theme song, but nevertheless, it was the baby boomers were being egged on to do it. Johnny Yuma was a rebel. He roamed through the West. Johnny Yuma was a rebel. He wandered alone. So here he is. He's a rebel. He's wandering alone through the West. Well, the West is irrelevant, I guess. Other primetime TV series having wandering solitary role models were Cheyenne. These were all primetime and they were like, I don't know if they were the number one shows in their spot, but they were, if they weren't, they were one or two. Cheyenne was one of them, and then slightly less popular than Cheyenne was Sugarfoot. After a while, the Lonesome Wanderers, instead of just being campers like Cheyenne was, Cheyenne just used to roam around and camp out. But now they were cast as gamblers, which is a degenerate lifestyle, gambling. I know there's a thing called a degenerate gambler, but even gamblers that aren't degenerate gamblers are culturally degenerate. It's a degenerate, it's not a, it's really not a wholesome aspect of culture, gambling. So this guy, Maverick, and it was like one of the most popular shows ever on TV. It was just a super popular show. James Garner is so charming. Somebody did a contrast between James Garner and Clint Eastwood, and somebody gave Clint Eastwood a script, and he says, "This has talking in it. I don't talk. I grimace." And so James Garner, his whole thing was like talking. He was a great talker. He was very charming. So anyway, in 1960s, the same audience, the baby boomers in the 1960s, were entering adulthood after having been exposed to these role models in the 50s on screen. In 1958 and 1963, the papacy was taken over by coercion during the conclaves. Those who didn't vote for the particular subversive or infiltrator popes were coerced.
At night, it looks beautiful.
Uh,
Glittering,
Throughout the 1950s, all of the cardinals were initiated into the Grand Orient Freemasonry. The date of each cardinal's initiation was given in a book by ex-Freemason Jim Shaw. Perhaps the new papacy was Khazarian Mafia, perhaps the Priory of Zion, or perhaps a little of both, which is the latter is probably more correct. Whoever they were foes of the Kennedys. JFK fought war against Vatican armies from that time. These armies included the CIA, whose directors were mainly Knights of Malta, a Knight of Malta being, of course, a sworn servant of the Pope. So the CIA was a papal army, and they were really into drug dealing and child trafficking for organ harvesting and adrenochrome. So CIA has been caught doing that. The mafia families, the Italian mafia families, they were all servants of the Pope, although they were supervised by these old papal families such as the Visconti, Aldobrandini, and all them. And the Vietnam War, which Kennedy was against the Vietnam War, which was fought to replace the Buddhist government of Vietnam with a Catholic one, which is what it did. Before the war, the Viet government was Buddhist, and after it was over, it was a Catholic. Cardinal Spellman, the Archbishop of New York, who was ruler of the Western Hemisphere on behalf of the Vatican, became ruler of the USA by having JFK to be assassinated. During Spellman's 7-year reign, which some people consider as being the tribulation, 7-year tribulation, because the tribulation was among the children of Israel, which means the Europeans, especially Northern Europeans, but Euro-Americans, Australians, and so forth. During the 7-year reign, the CIA was selling drugs to baby boomers while they wandered about America. The baby boomers were wandering about America, India, and North Africa, neglecting their careers and keeping single, having no children and families. A year after Spellman died, the rider of the white horse, be told in chapter 19 of the book of the Revelation of John, came to the children of a man named Israel by coming in the clouds into Los Angeles. In summary, the subversively crafted role models shown to the young baby boomers succeeded in damaging the lives and careers of Americans, and the career of many of them dying through the drugs distributed by Vatican's Mafia and CIA. In the 60s, I knew 18 people personally that died from taking heroin. Now, supposedly heroin itself is not lethal in an overdose. So they might have been murdered. Like these mafia supplied heroin, they could have been murdering non-Catholics by putting stuff in the heroin that they sold to them. That's speculation. They may or may not have been. It might have just been contaminated. So here's what, if you want to support the Brotherhood for Safety and Mutual Aid, and which is the solution, the preparation for the the dissolution of Western culture. It's the seed culture for the next phase after Western culture, civilization. Go to the bottom of my short bio and send me an email saying you want to find out more about how you can be involved in getting the Brotherhood for Safety and Mutual Aid started. And I'm going to show you a card with my the URL of my short bio on it.
And it is addictive. And so the more you practice it,
Now, the name Keezy does not have an L in it. Be aware. So go to get it as soon as you finish this videograph. Go to this URL, scroll to the bottom, get the email, and send it to me, saying, "I want to help. I want to help too." By participating in the getting started the Brotherhood for Safety and Mutual Aid. Thank you.